Dungeon a Day 8. The once illustrious halls bear witness to the decay a millennia has wrought on the ancient keep. Marble walls stained with dirt and blood echo faintly with the distant hisses of the keep's new residents. Stone statues of men and monsters with face contorted into rage and terror fill the entryway. The room swarms with basilisks. A few moments later, and hiding in the shadows, Yuan-Ti spellcasters cast Bane, weakening the party's saves and attacks during what would have been an easy encounter, and turning it into a deadly one. Guardroom 1 has been converted into a pen for basilisks with an obvious hole in the wall in the back, housing the key to progress. Guardroom 2 holds a cowering Yuan-Ti who only attacks if you make him. He is protecting loot and can be talked out of it with the proper threats. The hall contains a series of false tiles, 8 in total, that break if stepped on and deal 2 piercing damage and cause a DC 16 con save or take an additional 10 poison damage each turn until it's passed, or a DC 16 medicine check is passed. The armory is trapped. Its ancient weapons and Yuan-Ti weapons alike have razor-sharp, hair-thin wires protecting them. If the wire is touched, it will cause 2 damage, and unless you pass a DC 16 con save, you'll take an additional 10 poison damage. The court wizard's quarters have been totally caved in. Digging through the rubble will uncover the wizard's box of magically protected treasure with a simple riddle protecting it. His hubris is almost comical. Most of the books in the library have rotted away, and a secret stair to the lower level hides beneath a marble table. The dining hall is empty. The stone tables bear runes and hide an ancient secret treasure. The barracks contain 14 Yuan-Ti. If you haven't been too loud, they will be asleep and easily ambushed. The storeroom contains foodstuffs and other necessary supplies. They are protected by needles, almost imperceptible, and if touched will inflict poison damage, unless a save is passed. In the bath hall, a handful of cultists are tied up in the bath. Yuan-Ti heat stones over fires to toss in to boil their food. In guardroom 3, a handful of Yuan-Ti sleep on their spears or mill about. Eyes on the locked door beyond, not on the entryway. If they're attacked, though, they'll sound an alarm. In the kitchen, butchered humans, goblins, and kobolds hang from the ceiling, and a hidden box contains ancient treasure. Servants' quarters left. A single Yuan-Ti guards slaves, some human and some monsters. If the party shows concern for the slaves, he'll use them as leverage to escape, and if you attack, he'll use them as shields. Servants' quarters right. The Yuan-Ti Royal Guard room contains half of the Royal Guard, those off duty. A difficult fight ensues unless they are asleep. The secret door is hidden and puzzled. Throne room. The Medusa that rules is guarded by 4 Royal Guards. She also has the key to the next area. She may be amiable to converse with if the party hasn't killed too many of her people. In the royal bedchamber, a secret route to the 3rd zone is hidden behind a puzzled lock. In the harem's quarters, hidden beneath a bed, is an ancient puzzle box with loot inside. Thus concludes the ruins of the ancient keep. Tune in next time for the ancient dungeon, and have a random table for your troubles. Dungeon a Day 9. In the ancient, troll-infested dungeon, trolls mill about in haphazard fashion, mostly congregating in the larger rooms and keeping prisoners in the cells for food. All of the halls are filled with thick fog from the water source they keep heated in order to weaken any fire-based attacks against them, as well as to diminish enemy sight, while they can rely on their keen smell to maneuver about the halls. The combination of these elements will make trolls, an already formidable threat, a challenge even to mid-level characters. Thus concludes the ancient troll-infested dungeon. Tune in next time for the escape route through the ancient sewers. Dungeon a Day 10, the escape route to the sewers. The entry area is empty, allowing the players a moment to breathe and give them the opportunity to scout ahead. In both possible directions, they'll find loot that has been trapped. It is a lure to attract them, but only one direction will lead to a path forward. Next, a junction with 3 possible routes. One will lead to a combat of patrolling squads, 4 large blue slod. the other to a skill challenge navigating stalactites, and the last to an intricate, ancient puzzle left by a bygone age. Past the stalactites, 6 red slods mill about on patrol. Past the blue slod, more trapped treasure and a route into the sewers. Past the trap, 2 patrols have met in the hall and are arguing, one of 3 blue slod and the other of 6 red. If the players make themselves known too soon, they will be attacked by all. If they wait, they can either pick up the survivors or slip by in the confusion. A trap protects the button that opens the door to the boss, and that area can be accessed either through secret passages or going the long way around. The boss protects the key to progress forwards. The boss is a gray slod with 4 blue slod protecting it, as it casts powerful magics. On the other side of a dungeon, there's an empty room players could potentially rest in, but they'll most likely be attacked in their sleep. The center room features a green slod protected by 2 blue slod, and they collectively guard several Yuan-Ti prisoners. And beyond it, another trapped loot. Finally, the path forwards is protected by 2 green slod and 1 blue slod. The 2 green slod cast magic, and the blue slod will defend them. Loot is determined by rolling 3d4 to determine effect, weapon type, and bonus. Thus concludes the escape route to the sewers. Tune in next time for the Ancient Thieves' Hideout. Dungeon a Day 11, The Ancient Thieves' Hideout. No longer occupied by the thieves that once housed these halls, the entryway into the ancient hideout is swarming with intellect devourers. If you choose to go up, the hall is full of traps, and the door at the end is locked. Going to the leftward door instead will lead to a T-intersection hallway, going up taking you to a storage room, beyond which you will find 4 heroic party members in it that will unquestioningly attack you on sight. They are comprised of a wizard, a paladin, a cleric, and a rogue. They each wear a strange amulet. There's a secret passage leading into the locked room from before. The other direction will lead you into a statuary in the making. A barbarian, a druid, a ranger, and a bard are diligently carving away at statues and also will attack you unquestioningly and are also wearing the strange amulets. Going past those adventurers, you will find a large room with many chests and pedestals, all featuring boxes and boxes of those strange amulets. The wearers will receive +2 AC and attack and become the unquestioning slave of the Mind Flayer. In unlocked cells in the hallway beyond, you will find 2 more parties of adventurers. One with a fighter, a warlock, and an artificer, and a monk. The other with the main characters of the 80s D&D cartoon. They are all the slaves of the Mind Flayer. Going upward, the large room contains a party of heroes controlled by intellect devourers and a mechanism into the cave system, the button guarded by the Mind Flayer in the earlier room. In the strangely shaped room connecting this one and the octagonal room, you will find loot and a key that will open the door beyond the trapped hallway to face the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer fight will be accompanied by every single adventuring party that you have not either killed or freed up to that point. Let's hope for your sake you freed them. In the large cave system beyond the hideout, you will face creatures like ropers and black puddings that will ambush you from above. There's a mechanism blocking the path and a puzzled button earlier on. There is one secret passage connecting the earlier boss room with the end of the cave system. Thus concludes Day 11 of the Dungeon a Day project. The ancient Black Market District exists to make the players feel like they're being hunted by darkness itself. While there are your normal challenge rooms with monsters ambushing players and skill challenges or puzzles to be solved, the main hook of this dungeon is the 3 wandering hunters. The first is an invisible stalker, the second is a wraith, and the third is a horned devil who moves about in a 30-foot cloud of magical darkness. To maintain tension and to keep proper timekeeping for this dungeon, keep the players in initiative order the entire time so that they have the tension of combat without the catharsis thereof. Then at the top of each round, roll a d10. On a 1, the invisible stalker will attack. On a 2, the wraith. And on a 3, the horned demon will move one zone closer to the party. And because the initiative order keeps going while in combat, the longer the combats take, the more likely the fight is to become a 2 or 3 versus 1 slaughter, as the blinded players flail haplessly in the magical darkness. To keep players occupied while they are being hunted, there is a series of environmental storytelling vignettes. For instance, in the first house that you come to in the Black Market District, you will find evidence of a money changer who was running a counterfeit operation until he was caught, and himself and his entire family murdered in his home. The vignettes continue with puzzles to be solved and loot to be found, but ultimately progress only occurs when the players defeat the horned devil and take the key from around its neck that will unlock the last room and their route forwards. The cult temple complex is a fleshy body horror nightmare. Within its walls lies the proto version of the same cult encountered in the first floor, but there are no cultists this far below the earth. Instead, it is only that which they serve, or at least its higher level minion. Before arriving at the temple, the players go through a crystal-filled cave, a last reminder of beauty before stepping into the nightmare. The dungeon itself is a large temple, complete with sanctuaries and inner sanctums, rooms off to the side where cultists, monks would preside and prepare rituals or live. But now, layered over top of that, are fleshy masses, bleeding hallways, rooms filled with eyes, one room that is simply the inside of a creature's mouth, and once you enter in, the trap closes around you. When you get into the large center section, you cannot proceed forwards without gathering the 5 keys of the dungeon, representing the 5 senses. These are to be fit into sockets in a living obelisk. The items found not only represent the 5 senses, but they are, in fact, those members which facilitate them. Gathering the hands, eyes, tongues, and so forth that grow from the very walls of this dungeon. The final boss is a culmination of all of these, with many hands that will grab you, mouths that will deal damage, orifices that will release creatures to attack you, eyes that cause madness, and at the center, a heart protected by something of a rib cage that must be destroyed in order to both kill the dungeon and progress forward. The cult's treasury is something of a puzzle box dungeon. It takes spatial reasoning and might require to be seen on a VTT or on a table in order to be understood. The controlling puzzle is the 2 hands of the clock face at the center room. One hand points to a door, and wherever it points, it can be rotated, mind. Wherever it points, that door will appear, allowing you into the different quadrants of the dungeon. The other points to a crystal, and wherever it points, the crystal will be in the different quadrants of the dungeons, there is a pedestal for the crystal to attach to. If you move the hands, they move in unison. And so if the hand is facing the crystal, the door is on the opposite side of the dungeon from your progression forwards to the boss and the next floor. Problem is solved by finding a key to move the hands independent of each other. To sell the clockwork nature of this dungeon, the enemies are modrones and constructs and golems, with the boss being an amalgamation of a golem and a construct. This cerebral challenge concludes the second floor of the dungeon. Tune in next time as we descend deeper into the stone ages of the world.